Hello everyone and welcome back to round 3 of the Zelner Memorial or the 29th edition of the Space Coast Chess Open. I hope you guys will be staying here for a little bit of time. We had some very interesting games that were played this morning, and now on with round 3. Just before we start, I wanted to kind of just have this small reminder of the standings and the pairings for this round 3. So we had Zhu Chao, who won a beautiful game this morning, and he's on 2-0, same as Joseph Van. Theodore Slade has won his game as well. Before going on this longer break, before stopping the previous stream, we had not seen the end of those two games, and I saw, I asked the TD, and he told me that there was some Wi-Fi interruption, and that's why the games got delayed. But now the games are fully there, so we can definitely catch up and see what happened with those games. We also have Jacori Binum, who also won his game. If you guys remember, it was a beautiful game against Mikhail Solodnikov. It was quite, equal for a bit of time, and then he was able to win. And then Scott Raymer also joins them with 2 out of 2. So we have 5 players with 2 out of 2 going into round 3. Scott Raymer is playing down against Venkat Raghav. Venkat had taken a bye in round 1, then he won, so he's on 1.5. And then we'll have a few other strong player games on the other boards, and we definitely will be checking out those games too. So without further ado, let us just go back to the games, catch up with what happened, and I'm just going to change the scene here, and we can start looking at today's round 3. Okay, so this was the game that we thought White was doing quite well until they blundered here with Queen F3, thinking that Black probably has to defend F7. But what White missed was the possibility of playing Knight D4, and he only thought, oh, I play Queen F3, it's a move with tempo, nothing's gonna happen. And he missed the fact that Black can capture here, and after the recapture, Knight D4, getting the exchange back, and then depending on where you go, you're actually going to lose more than just that. So that's why in this position he ended up going for Knight takes D5, but it wasn't sufficient after all was said and done. Black remained with 2 pieces in the pawn for the rook, which was sufficient to eventually win the game. As for the game between Theodore Slade and Aniket Shukla, basically we were stuck somewhere around here after Queen A3, Knight E6. We were wondering why the moves are not coming. So again, there was a Wi-Fi issue, but the moves came in, everything is fine, and Queen E7 seems that it was played. That was kind of where we spent a bit of time to understand the position. The Queen was definitely doing pretty well. So this is something that happened. Okay, so if we look a bit more in the game, I mean, he just took the pawn and then started marching his pawns, and here Black just blundered. But anyways, even if Black doesn't blunder, White just starts marching the pawns. He has way too many, and this game would end in White's favor. So that puts Theodore Slade on 2 out of 2. Let's go to round 3. I think the moves started appearing, which is nice because we are right on time to review everything that's been going on. So in this game, so Theodore will have to face Grandmaster Zhu Chao with the black pieces. That's not going to be an easy game to play, but let's see. So setting up as something interesting. So a Tarash kind of set up for black. D5, C5, I usually consider this pawn structure Tarrasch. And we'll see if white ended up playing with G3 or not. Usually they don't. When you push E3, keep in mind, you don't mix E3 with G3. You could, but it's not ideal. So just try to keep that in mind. You don't want this to happen. Just one moment. Looks like I have some small issue. Oh. All right. Okay, we back. We are back. Bishop b2, knight c6. Okay, so this transposed to something very, very decent. I actually like this isolated pawn positions usually for the side that has the isolated pawn, but I believe white setup is pretty good. Okay. So basically, now we have pressure on the knight, right? So we want to take the knight in c6, and the bishop d7 is not really ideal, so probably black is going to consider trading, and then maybe trying some attack. And then if you go g3, then bishop h3, knight g4 maybe, and just kind of hold the pressure here so that white doesn't have the ability to put pressure on the pawn. Actually, I'm liking this position for black. I'm not sure if this was really ideal, but I mean, that's how they usually play this line. But I don't know if they keep the knight there. I mean, he does want to play knight f3, but if black takes, you don't manage to get the knight in f3 and recapture with the knight, because you would love to do that, but you will not here. So I think white would be, you know, you need to be careful, that's for sure. You definitely need to be careful about this. Okay, we'll be back to this game. Let's catch up with everything else. Okay, so this was just had two moves being played. Maybe Joseph was late to the game, clearly based on his time. His game could have lasted quite a bit of time because I didn't show you guys till the end, but his opponent had played till the end, so maybe he didn't have that much time in between the two games to get some rest. So we'll have an Italian here. We'll have to wait and see which line. What did we have here? Did we have some Moscow? No, close Sicilian. Okay. E6 takes. These pawn structures are very, very interesting because with black, you're struggling to figure out what to do with this bishop. But with white also, you can't really do that much to try to trade these pawns because if you do, that bishop will get into play. So you have to be mindful of how you're going to approach this position, actually. So f4. Okay, so white is going for the aggressive side, and I like it. Castle. And at some point, he has to, I was about to say he has to go e5, but he did play e5. I like this idea because you're kind of blocking the center, so you know this bishop will be pretty dead, but now you just have to finish your development and then find the right moment to go f5. You cannot go f5 too soon. So the way I've seen this being played is sometimes people go b3, bishop b2, maybe even a4 to make sure no pawns will get traded over there. And then they try to start marching on the king side. So that's definitely possibility that you can have. Okay. Bishop b7. So I like b3. I'm anticipating Scott's gonna play b3 here. So Scott is the other player with 2 out of 2, and he's playing Venkat Raghav, who's only 1.5 at the moment. These other players have 1.5, 2, so we have another King's Indian style that started as an English. Okay, h3. That's interesting. I don't believe I've seen h3 being played in this position. Knight f3 is more natural. You just proceed with your development. Castle, eventually you'll get some pieces into play. Maybe you'll get some e4 in, maybe not. Yesterday we saw a game similar to this one, if you guys remember, in round 1. Okay, and we had a Caro. This line has become more popular these days with 2 knights, with knight c3, allowing black to go bishop g4. Oh, bishop e2. I've seen h3 being played quite a lot. h3 and then takes. I've played this myself. Actually, not long ago I had a player capture with the pawn, and this is interesting as well. It's just, I feel that black just gets the space. It's not really ideal to double your pawns unless you're sure you get to trade them. And in that game, my opponent didn't have the chance to do that. So bishop e2, e6, and castle. So the point of this is you're letting black develop the bishop, but you're not deciding what you do in the center, whether you take, you push, if you play d3 or d4. So that remains to be seen, and it makes it a bit difficult for black to develop, because when these pawns are traded off, you know that you want to put the knight there. In this case, the way black played it, there's a possibility to go e5, which could give white a bit more space, and I don't believe this works. Maybe it does. No, it cannot be so good. Although I can't take, so maybe it is. Maybe we can play h3 first. He actually did play h3. I like that. So he played h3 in this position, chasing or making black decide where they want to put the bishop. And I guess with the bishop here, it actually makes sense. You want to take back with the bishop and just have this well protected, and then the bishop will switch over on the right kind of diagonal, which is, in my opinion, this one. I think white will be doing quite well there. And the final board here, board 6, went into... Okay, some Maruti bind transposition system, and we've seen this something similar today, bishop d3, and it is black's turn to figure out what it is that they want to do. The thing is that if black gives up the bishop to double white's pawns, yes, they create a weakness, but in the same time they give up their dark square bishop, which is important because there are lots of pawns on light square, so their dark squares will be quite weak, so people usually avoid to do that. They can go d5 or e5, which e5 is actually the move that black seems to have played here. I think this is probably the best for them to play, and we're anticipating some development moves. Probably this bishop will go either e3 or g5, and then going to figure out where we put the queen, and definitely will put the rook on the d file. So this is how I'm assessing the position so far, considering the way they started. Okay, let's go back to, okay, let's go back to our board one. So black did not go for my suggestion, which was this, to make sure the knight doesn't get to d4. And after queen d6, white retreated that knight. Did not put this one here. He was probably worried about bishop g4. And now black strategist takes, and then h2 is gonna be weak. So that is basically what happened here. It makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, I think the position is fine, but Zhuzhen Chao decided to go knight f3 instead. Okay, I mean, not a bad idea, right? Not a bad idea either. What's the difference? I don't know if there's a difference. Maybe he wants to move this rook over and then put the knight to f1 later or something? I don't know that there's a big difference. I guess we can go rook c1. It doesn't make so much sense why he put the knight here in that case. I thought he put the knight to bring it to f3. But I guess I misunderstood it. I might see it in a bit. We've got a few more moves in this Van Joseph game against Giacomo Bino. So it was an Italian with bishop in e7. Actually, I didn't see this very much. The bishop in e7. I personally like to get my bishop out in c5. I think, you know, when you're given the opportunity with black, you should take it and just get the bishop out. I mean, okay. Bishop b5. Of course, white does not want to give up the light square bishop. The bishop is going to make its way back home to c2, after which d4 will be supported, and the bishop eventually gets into play on that diagonal. So I feel that this move order transposed to some kind of Ruy Lopez, but white might have a move down because they play bishop c4, bishop b5. I think they lost a move. So that's good for black. Rook here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so in these types of positions, you got two plans with white that I believe work, especially after g6, since you cannot bring your knight to f5. I think you have to figure out which way you want to break through with, like d4 or this or this. I'm not sure which one you choose to break through with, but you definitely need to break this through eventually. Otherwise, black will get d5. Since usually this is the setup that you would get for Chigorin, and in the Chigorin, white tends to get the pawn in d4, you know? And then maybe go for d5, but yeah. Okay. Okay. So white did follow the idea that I suggested, b3. Knight here. f6. Yeah, why might go for c4 eventually? He can go for c4 as well. I would not touch this pawn. It's well protected. Let's not touch. If you take, bishop takes, I think black is doing pretty well. So we're trying to avoid that idea. So, but we can't go bishop b2 because this is hanging. So we hit some issue here. Maybe we can go c4 first, but then if he blockades, he's giving us that square. So we can think further, maybe something like this to bring the knight to a better location. That could be something to consider for white. Uh-huh. I have not seen this plan, I gotta say, with a6 b5 for a really long time. When I was 14, 15 years old, I played quite a bit of European and World Youth Championships, and there were a few girls who were playing the King's Indian with knight c6, a6, b5 plan. And I always felt so comfortable when that happened. I didn't think it was the best plan for black, but you still, have to be careful with white. But this is a bit different than what I was playing because white has the bishop fianchetto that usually we keep mining e2, and then also played h3, which could be a bit of a loss of time. So we'll have to see if that really was worth it or not for them. So e4, castle, b5. The line that I was playing, I was meeting b5 with c5, but d5. He wants this knight to go there. If he goes here, would be super happy because we just take. And then I believe c5. And this will be followed by bishop g5. And depending on if black considers to play e6, he has to be very careful because f4 will be an idea that you have to be mindful about because you can't take due to this. And you can't really protect the pawn. So because of the pin, you might struggle quite a bit. So you cannot hold on to the knight in the center. I guess alternatives would be knight a5 or maybe b4 would be another one. But that allows knight here, and now you would go there, and white has to protect this pawn, so we need to get the queen out. Maybe c2. c2 is typically the place where white puts the queen in the King's Indian. And then it remains to be seen what happens next. What was the opening? It started as an English and then transposed into some King's Indian with g3. It was like this. And I don't know why h3 was played, to tell the truth. I think that's a waste of time. And this is the current position. But so black would do that or this. And we can go c5. Then we have to take. Now black is threatening b4. I don't know that we have time to do this and then try to bring in the knight there. To bring it towards c6. He may go c5. Although Oopsie daisy. What's going on here? We can protect the knight here or there, and then I guess bishop a6 or something. Maybe we have a4. This line can go on and on, you know. King's Indians and Benonis are definitely the types of openings that you know things are pretty sharp. So you have to create, especially this line with b5, is to me personally is reminiscent of some Benko. You know, Benko, you're pushing b5, a6 early, you're sacrificing a pawn, you're trying to open up those two files, and that's pretty much what's happening here. Okay. We'll be back. We'll be back to see how black approaches this position, but it will get a bit sharp, and there will be maybe some trades happening, and you just gotta be mindful what kind of things you're gonna get. So it looks like after h3, black did not take the knight. Obviously, it was gonna help white get the bishop on a better location, and then knight e5, offering the trade. And actually, black prefers to go bishop g6 instead of trading the bishop in e2. This is surprising to me. It is really surprising because, I mean, out of these two pieces, I'd rather get this bishop. Yes, I'm helping white develop the queen, but this knight will get out of there with knight d7 very soon. You can go bishop e7 or knight d7. And that's a pretty equal position in my opinion. I think it's pretty equal. But bishop g6 is surprising me because I can't believe you're fine to give up the bishop for the knight. Yes, you open up the file, but guys, just keep in mind that the rook alone on this file is going to do nothing. It's protected, this pawn. There's no sacrifices, nothing. White can try to get even more space. I'm a bit surprised by black's choice in the position, I gotta say. A bit more than just a bit, like quite a bit surprised. And going on to board 6, we've had a few more moves since we left it off. So after the trade, and e5, white castled, and queen c2. Yeah, this is probably pretty much what we anticipated was gonna happen. You know, you just get your pieces out and a3, b4, maybe you'll even get some f4 later. Okay. I'm starting over. If you guys have, you know, a request on which game you want me to go to, I actually should have pinned the one moment, let me pin. I don't have a link to pin. Okay. So the here I can actually pin this message. What? It doesn't let me pin it? That's the weirdest thing. Okay, fine. Fine. No pinning. No pinning allowed. Okay. Well. Queen c2. Okay, so now black does not have an isolated pawn anymore. He has two hanging pawns. So white needs to start putting pressure on that pawn in c6. Probably bring in the rook. Knight goes here. At some point, not yet, not yet. Do not rush. Do not rush. Don't get checkmated. Do not get checkmated, okay? It's important that you don't get checkmated. It's very important. Okay. So let's just get rid of that arrow because it's confusing. If you just come to the stream and you see that arrow 94, you're thinking, why is Sabina saying 94? Doesn't she see a checkmate in one? No, I see it. I just know that's a move that eventually you want to consider making. You just need to figure out when. But yeah, rook c1, and even, you know what else I like? I like a4 bishop a3 as an alternative, or rook c1 bishop d4 bishop c5. You definitely want to get some pieces in there. Hi there, remain confident. How are you doing? Long time no see. Okay. Ooh, look at that. White didn't attack the center just yet, and he allowed black to do that, so black did. Black just went for d5, and now, you know, there's gonna be some space. Space advantage. Looking good for black. Looking pretty good, I gotta say. And then bishop d2. Wait, didn't I say... So bishop e3 was played, so he attracted d4 to be played, and now white can switch over the knight to a much better location. His position may be good. Okay. Which side do you guys like? White or black in this position? I'm just curious. In your mind, which one of the two sides stands better here? Because this is a bit tricky. I think I would take white in this position. White, very tricky. Is the bishop in c8 is kind of dead, but I don't know. I don't know. Black also got this square now after d4. And then he's gonna put pressure on e5. And so what's gonna happen there? What do you guys think? Let's see what the engine says. It says that white is slightly better in this position. Takes, 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 takes. Where's white slightly better? We're gonna get this bishop out. We will. Trust me, we will. We're just gonna give this pawn up, play here and here. And yeah, you give up a pawn, but you have the bishop pair, and you freed up your sad bishop. Yeah, you get a file, but you also have to get activated on that file, so it might not be, you know, it might not be the end of the world. You like we need two? No, but it's black's turn. You mean in that position? Yeah, here's black's turn. So black needs to come up with something. I was thinking queen d5 originally. I guess that can happen. And then the same trades. But the problem is if you put the queen in d5, then c4, pawn takes, it will be taken with tempo, so you don't have time to push that pawn, you know? So that might not be so easy for you. Mm, I still think black has to take. I don't see other ways to improve the bishop. These are other ideas that you would... Oopsie. Yeah, definitely if you could put bishop on dark. If you somehow get the bishop here, this is an idea that you see oftentimes in the Stonewall Dutch. But yeah, I mean, you probably won't see it here. It takes a bit too long. I like the f takes e5. F takes e5 idea. Let's move on to the other game. Black is still thinking on how to react here after d5. So we suggested, knight a5, b4, or knight e5. Those are the moves that we have for black that makes sense. Knight a7 is not, you shouldn't consider it's way too passive. It allows the bishop to be developed with tempo. No. So it's one of those three moves. And then here, white is still thinking as well. And a3. All right. Moment of truth. What should black do? Should black take the knight? Should black move the bishop back? Hmm. You'd play bishop d6? Hola, gagas. Wait, what? Oh, I don't know about bishop d6. Why would I play f4? I won't play f4. I'll just come on the d file. No, 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 no. Don't put it in front of. Don't put it in front of that. No. Maybe I put it here and then some pawn pushes. Bishop c5. Okay, this makes more sense. I think it makes sense. The point is now if you play b4, I'm gonna infiltrate. I mean, I'm gonna put my bishop here and then I'm gonna make sure it stays there forever. This would be something nice that black would do here for sure. So, So bishop c5. So now you gotta think how you're gonna continue. Because you really don't want to allow the bishop to go to d4, but now you got no choice because you basically just told him go there, and it wasn't so good. So I don't know. Maybe rook b1, or maybe just actually why am I playing that? Just bishop b2, rook d1, but king h1, and you want to play f4, I guess. I guess you guys can consider that if you want to, but he's gonna get his bishop out. He can't play d5, so d6. I don't think you should go for f4. What if knight a4? The bishop comes here. Like, no matter how you attack the bishop, he's gonna go there. Um, don't have a follow-up, guys. I used to like this position for white, but I don't think I do at this point anymore. I don't think I like it anymore. Not as much, anyways. Okay, so let's see. Let's go back to board 1. Couple of more moves have been played since we last saw it. Queen c2, rook e8, rook c1. Okay, so black has to figure out how to defend that bishop. I think this seems the most logical way. Can black set up a trap and go rook c8, and if you take, you know, have this idea? I don't think so, right? Because knight takes. This is important. This is important. This is a fake trap. You think you set up a trap, but then here, and when you take, you can say, oh, the bishop's protected, no big deal. Kaboom! Get rid of the knight. Bishop is hanging. White is doing just fine. Better than just fine. It's doing great. So you can't really set up that trap. So probably bishop d7. Okay. How do we put additional pressure there without falling for a mate? Because that's basically what's happening. Mate. Rook fd1. You want to go here, and then maybe there. I like it. And you can meet this with this. That's covered. Then you want to go, oops, sorry. Then you want to go here. Everything's covered. Okay. That makes sense. This is an option. Knight c4. Yeah, knight c4, okay, it's a nice move, but after I move my queen, your knight is... Ah, it's not hanging. Okay, you play h3. But your knight is hanging. Oh my god, he played rook c8. He set up the trap, but it's not really a trap. Did he not see it? Black played rook c8. I just showed you guys this line. Did he not see till the end that it's not a real trap? What do you guys think? Queen takes c6 seems perfectly fine. Don't you think? What? Yeah, GMs will take free pawns. They will take free pawns. Dig it, let's go. You can't, oops, sorry. Unless he wants to move the queen somewhere else. That pawn was up for grabs. Wow. That does not look very... That does not look very good. How much time is it gonna take Grandmaster Zhejiang Chao to take it? Let's see. Let's learn from this GM, you know? Just learn what he's doing and try to do it the same 2 minutes. Okay. We'll be back and see how much time he spent to take the pawn. What if he doesn't take the pawn? Then we'll realize he's scared. So you can make these kind of traps if you play against him. Because he's been playing in a lot of tournaments, so, you know, this is your preparation. You're gonna be prepared against him to sacrifice pawns because you know he won't take them. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not a good idea. Okay, so yeah, I'm liking this position for black slightly better. because he's got more space, and you guys know how much I love my space. Here, okay, it will take some time to figure out how to attack further, but bishop e6, rook c8, queen e5 maybe after you chase this bishop over j6, maybe bishop g7. Keep everything covered and just try to see what you can do on the queen side. That's where you got the file open. That's where you got more space. That's where you want to play. c4. Look at that. Look at that. Going into the idea that we discussed a bit earlier, black is creating an open space for his bishop, that diagonal. It's gonna be unpleasant that the diagonal is open. You got an extra pawn with white, but you know, these two pawns kind of hold these three, or these three pawns hold these four. So black is basically just looking now at activating and improving his pieces. Okay. Okie dokie tokie, moving on. So b4 was black's choice, and basically you do need to move the knight. So he chose e2. Yeah, that's where I was saying as well. I didn't really like a4 because it will take a bit of time to bring it back into the game. Because if you take, you got an extra pawn, but they're tripled. So you're going to lose a bunch of those pawns. Now you got no more extra pawn, and something else going to fall. So this is something you try to avoid, of course. That's why you need to move the knight. So knight e2. Yeah, the bishop is very important. You're better off giving a pawn and having your bishop into play than basically playing with the bishop down. Bishop b4. It looks like after bishop g6, white didn't take the bishop. Yeah, he's trying to make white capture here. That's what black wants. But this is not bad. Most likely we'll see that, so that the knight can go there. And then we need to see whether we'll try to attack here, or I would definitely have taken that bishop. You know, only one thing I don't like in this position is this diagonal. The black has the bishop in c7, queen in d6. Then you have to figure out how to cover h2. And you're not quite ready to do that, but it takes quite a bit of time for black to do that. So white has to be mindful about when they're going to take that bishop. That's good. Okay, so if you guys remember earlier this morning, there was this game and I was suggesting the idea of playing b4, you know, but here it does not work. Because in that game, we were hitting a queen here. After takes, we're hitting a queen. In this case, we're hitting a bishop, which means black can just take back the rook, or could take in f2 first in this position. And then take the rook, and black is doing really great. So be mindful what positions you're considering, what moves you're considering. Something that works in one game might not work in others. But that is certainly a plan that white wants to achieve, so he has to support it. I would bet my money on this bishop d2 with the idea to play b4, push, get himself some space on this side of the board. Trading a pair of rooks is fine, and white can eventually create a passed pawn here. I think that is what he should be doing. I don't see the ideas with king h1 and f4 really working, because it leaves white with some weaknesses. You're trying to avoid that. You thought to do b4, bishop d4, and then knight e2. Yeah, I agree. I agree. We talked about that here. But he can't go knight e2 yet, so probably rook b1 or bishop b2 first. And then move the knight, yeah. But black would support their bishop, so it wouldn't be easy for you to actually get rid of that bishop. That's the issue. That's why I think white messed up. Here, a3 is not... Maybe you should play bishop e3. Let them take if they want to, maybe. Okay, back to... Look at that. Okay, let's see. Let's see. We said 2 minutes. How much time did he spend? He had 21:54, so almost 22. All right. He did spend like 7 minutes, but he took the pawn here. Okay, well... Okay. What does this teach us? Grandmasters take pawns. They spend the time, some maybe more than others, but if they don't see anything, hey, it's your calculation versus theirs, and you know, sometimes their calculation is better most of the time. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how black is planning to get the pawn back. I don't know if he miscalculated or he's surprised now that the white took, because once again, for those of you who joined us later, this move does not work because after the trade, oh, sorry, I didn't show this line. Okay, never mind. This is really good for white. My bad. That's not what I meant. Trade, sorry. Trade first. Bishop takes h2 check. You can think that you're winning here because you recapture, but the problem is because white recapture with the knight, they keep the bishop attacked, which means now they can take the knight and this bishop is hanging. So white will have 2 pieces for the rook, and it's definitely in white's favor. I mean, 2 pieces for the rook. Sorry, it's really good. So I think he miscalculated that line. He probably forgot the last move, bishop takes f6, getting his knight. And that looks like a good position. Oh no, I got my hiccups. That's not good. Well, it depends, you know, depends the mindset with which you went into the game. If you went into the game thinking I want to win, regardless of who my opponent is, you have to change your mindset now because you just blundered. So you have to try to play, you know, solid, to try to come up with some kind of solid ideas of defense or some aggressive ideas of attack. Definitely you have to change the mindset. If you went with the idea to try to make a draw, also is a bit tricky. I think you should just go and play the game. It's easier said than done, but you need to try when you're playing any person not to allow the rating influence your decision making too much. You should try to learn to be objective with the position that you got and just make your decisions based on that. So in that particular game, you know, he lost a pawn. He needs to try to come up with something. Looks like he's made a move. So he did go. So we might see the line that we saw earlier. Is that's probably the best that he could have done. I don't know. He could have moved the queen somewhere, but I mean, at least, you know what? Maybe he can not take an h2, but make some kind of move because black does have the bishop pair. So that would be something that would keep me in, you know, into the game a bit more. Because I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe it's not that bad. You know, maybe I can keep my bishop pair. But if he goes for that line, white will definitely be better. All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think at different levels you have different kind of understanding of things that you can afford to do. If some grandmaster, you know, let's say 25, 2600 grandmaster tells me to play a specific line, and I have to give up some material and I don't like it, I'm not gonna play it. I'll just say, okay, thanks. Thanks for the advice, but no thanks. You know, so I don't know. This position is, like I said, I do prefer black in this position, but maybe white can come up with some plans. I don't see any attack on that side. Maybe he can even go a4. Maybe he can try a4. Okay, moving on to the next position. So he did play queen e2, and now the point is you can't go here because white wants to take, and you would have to take with the rook, which is not really ideal. Probably want to take with the pawn or bishop. So that's basically what this move is doing, keeping pressure in e6. Yeah, okay. Bok, yes, sure, he's Bok. he's a pretty strong GM. All right, and he probably analyzed quite a bit, you know, because especially, you know, a lot of people who write chessable courses, I don't think they just throw things in there. They probably, you know, spend quite a bit of time analyzing everything and just making sure it looks good. And sometimes they play them online, I think. I think it depends on the author, but I personally, if I would write a chessable course on openings, I would spend some time playing them online, seeing some different ideas that can happen, especially depending on the level for whom you're writing that specific course for. You want to think about what could happen to them, what ideas could happen to them. And you kind of have to spend a bit of time on those. Anyways, maybe should we go f5 or should we take? These are the two options that I'm seeing for black in this position. Sarhana, long time no see. Hi there. Nimzo and Quinn's Indian, yeah, they're pretty good. Pretty good and pretty popular too, you know. He is still thinking. Wait, knight? No way! I said anything but that! I cannot believe he went knight a7. I didn't think that would be a good move for black. That's really surprising to me. Okay, you played c5, but you know, when you play c5, yeah, you want to have that, but this part of the board is done, is blockaded. You got nothing. White's gonna kill you here. Maybe not totally kill you, but trust me, you got no plan. You're done. This is gonna be met with that, and if you push that pawn all the way here, then I'm gonna meet it with this. I just need to move the rook. He heard me, and that's why he played knight a7. No, I said not knight a7, anything but. Maybe he heard me wrong. Maybe it was you know, a wrong hearing. Also, they played this 15 minutes ago, so we're safe. I'm also probably 600-700 miles away, so it's too hard. It's too far to hear what I'm thinking. Sometimes I'm thinking very silly things. Sometimes I blunder pieces. I hope I'm not jinxing anyone, you know? But this pawn structure, I think it's very bad for black. I've had quite a bit of positions in this pawn structure with white, and I've won almost all of them because you have no plan on the queen side. You just blockaded everything. White should do anything but take en passant, almost. You know, I like e5, maybe queen d3, get the rook on the e file, king h2, knight g1, you know. You basically kind of want this move to be played, and white has is just you just play two result positions normally. Of course everyone can blunder, but yeah, it's a bad bet only because there's nothing the black can do on the queen side, which normally they would do something on that side of the board. So knight d7. Okay, so that happened, and now white's got to figure out what they're gonna do about the center. They might consider figuring out a way to push e5 so that nothing happens here, right? Because I told you, if somehow black has the queen in d6, bishop in c7, you don't have a knight in f3, and g3 now is not possible because the h file is open, but white may try something like this, although this might lose something. Takes. Yeah, check and take the pawn. Okay, so that move is silly, the one that I suggested. Okay, maybe we have to take, and then we'll go bishop here, rook here, get the queen out. It's gonna be a symmetrical position, unless you take with the c pawn, which is probably better for black than to take with the e pawn. Yeah, pretty equal position, that one and this. Here for black, d6. d6 or d5? This is possible too. d6. I guess now he's ready to play b4. Before he wasn't, but now he is. So we won't take. We might play here. Let him take. And maybe he tries this, and then I don't know if c5 is the best move for black. This was the type of setup that I was thinking that black should do to keep everything locked. But here, maybe trying this. I just don't like the bishop in d4. I'm not a fan of it. It's very unpleasant to have such a bishop in your territory. Yeah, this bishop is sad. Very sad. White might try ideas with maybe king h1 and maybe f4, but that weakens even more things. Plus this is an issue. Maybe we can play h3 to... But then you can play a4, and then I get no b4. No, I need to kind of go for b4. And that's why maybe in this position, maybe black can play a4. That way you don't really get b4, and maybe black is doing okay. Hard to tell. Wow, check it out. Our line was played. So in this position, I had this misjudgment for a moment to think that black can set up a tactical idea, but it was wrong, because here, after the trade, bishop takes h2 check, knight takes h2, the right kind of approach, and it seems that you are, winning material with black, but not too fast. In the end, you got some hanging pieces. White just captures in f6, and if you recapture, then the bishop was hanging. If you move, white's gonna move the bishop somewhere back, and I believe white's minor pieces are definitely better than than the rook. It's technically an extra point. We're liking this position for white. It's gonna take a while to really win it, because of course black has some ideas to activate the rook to c2, and so he should, because when you have a rook, you need to find a way to get it active. If you don't find a way to get it active, it's not good. It's basically just not good. You're not doing anything. You're not utilizing its value. You're not doing something useful for it. Okay. So it looks like white did go for that a4 idea. Okay, this kind of helps him at least free up a bit. The a rook is at least opened, and if you go on the a file, we'll trade it, so that will be good. Maybe he should have done bishop e2. In which game? Oh, here? Bishop d3, I guess. Okay, I don't think there's a difference between this and that. The knight will get out of there fast, and white's doesn't stay on a mate. Rook takes f6. Oh, sorry, here, and rook takes f6. Okay. He probably just wanted to keep the bishop because he thought it's gonna be a bit harder to deal with the material if there's still a bishop, because you still have a rook. So the bishop could be annoying to your rook. By that I mean white's rook. So this position seems perfectly fine for white. Better than fine, it's really good. Yeah, d4, e4, but I don't even need it. Maybe I can just play here and keep it closed. If this knight comes to f3, white is fine. And then this position is still balanced for now. Alright, so black decided not to activate the bishop on the long diagonal or taking e5. He went bishop d7 with potential threat to take this knight and mess up white's pawn structure. Obviously white went back. And now black is thinking, what's he gonna do? I think maybe try some f5. He has to kind of keep the position closed on that side so that white doesn't get any kind of ideas, attacking ideas. I just don't like this. At first I did, but then I realized that even if I trade some pieces, and I don't have that much space with black, so, but even if I do, I just think black's position still remains quite passive. This knight comes here, maybe a4, a5, something, a6, rook a5, put additional pressure here. Yeah, sure, bishop c1, bishop a3 to try to get that pawn, so if you close the position, at least, even if white gets the knight there and tries to put pressure, it's a bit less, I think. We'll see. We will see. I'm doing a final checkup. Nothing else happened here, neither here. And the final game. Yeah. Nothing changed in almost any of the games. Alright, so I'm gonna take a short break. I'm gonna let you guys watch this game, see what happens. And I'll be back in a few minutes. Stay close. I'm going to get some tea, some reinforcements. Welcome back. Well, I'm back, better said. With a special guest. With a very special guest over here, Regina. Miss Regina is ready for some chess explanations. So let's see what we missed. Since we left off the position, Rook c2 was indeed played. And Grandmaster Zhu Chao is currently thinking about this position. Why did he put the bishop in h4? I thought he would put it in d4. Oh, hello, cutie. I don't like the bishop in h4. The thing is that now... Yes. The thing is you lose that pawn now. I guess you would have lost it if you put it here too. But... Let's see. Here. Maybe you can start marching this one. Maybe you can go rook c1. Yes. I don't know if there's a difference. There may be one, because you can't support... You don't control the b2 square. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't matter at all. Yes. What is it? You want to be pet? I'm petting you. Maybe it's not so easy. He is getting a pawn now. So here I have a rook and a pawn for 2 knights. I guess rook c1, rook... So you might still play here and then try rook c1. But wait, there's rook c8. That's a possibility, sure. It's maybe not as easy as I thought. Maybe he has some chances, Theodore. Okay, let's check the other game. We'll be back at this one. It's actually quite interesting. I thought it was looking kind of bad for black, but he's found some nice improvement there, I would say. Bishop e6, yeah, of course. Some pieces can be traded. I like trading that light square bishop. You know, if you take rook takes, and then, you know, black will try to switch over and come on the c file potentially later. Queen d7 as well is an option, and yeah, if you don't trade, then the pawn in h3 might be hanging. This is quite balanced. Alright, so the bishop did in fact make it on that diagonal eventually. f5 was played since we left off. White did not allow... Sorry, black did not allow white to get the queen on e4. So, okay. Yeah. White did not take. You guys asked me. No, you don't want to take. This just helps black get the knight back into play. He just wants to just basically keep that pawn there. He's gonna focus on pushing this eventually with f4, g4, f5, kingside attack. As for black, plans are just to defend on the king side. Because e6, even if you play e6, you're actually gonna weaken that square. So that's not really very good. No change in this game since we left off. As for this, look at that. a4 was played. I did suggest this idea for black to make sure the bishop will be insured in c5, you know? And of course you can play bishop d4, but why play bishop d4 yet if you don't have to? You can just keep the bishop in c5 and avoid the trading and just let white stay with the bishop in c3, which is quite passive. As for black, you know, that bishop puts some pressure, you know, so that's kind of an issue. Reggie. What's up, Reggie? You're enjoying to stay here much more than you did in the morning. I guess you got a good nap. And now she's ready for some chess. Maybe she's enjoying the positions. Or maybe she's just enjoying the petting. One of the two. Sweetheart. Sit. Sit, sit, sit. Sit over here. h3. Bishop e6. Sorry. Bishop e6. Rook a d1. Yeah, no, she wiggled her tail and I just played bishop f5. Oh my goodness, this girl. This girl is something else. What do you think about the position, Missy? Which color would you prefer, white or black? Maybe I should have her, you know, there are some people who use their pets to guess, and then they bid for which team is gonna win in like world, you know, football champion or soccer championship or something like that. And then she can guess, huh? You wanna guess? You wanna be the guesser? No? Okay. You're not gonna be the guesser. Okie dokie dokie. Toki toki. So he did go with that knight in d4. Interesting. He probably didn't want it to be hanging. Okay. That actually makes sense, because he put the bishop in h4, so it would make sense that now, you know, puts the knight in d4. Okay. Sure. Sure, sure. Oh, 1 second. So now, what do we expect? Where do we expect this bishop is gonna move? d3, e4, maybe d7. d7 is kind of restricted the knight, but the knight is also kind of restricting the bishop. Yeah, also with the bishop in d7, you have rook c8. If white is planning to go rook c1, you can also go rook c8 and trade it. You know? Yes. Yes, what idea do you see? Bishop d7. She agrees. She said bishop d7. Okay, bishop d7. So now, maybe... Yes. Yes, you're getting petted. Maybe we can go... Okay, let's come up with a plan for white, because rook c1, rook c8, there's nothing. There's no improvement. Ah, sorry, you said rook c1. Okay, I was about to say that I don't think that is helpful to trade the rook. You definitely need to figure out where to bring this knight, and I don't think rook c1 does that much. So I want to come up with something that actually creates some kind of threats. Since the b pawn now is protected, you can't get rid of the knight in d4. The knight will stay there for a while. We need to come up with something on the king side. What would be a good plan? Maybe he can try to push the pawns on the king side? Like knight f3, maybe g4. Actually, maybe g4, king g2, bishop g3. Let's see. So g4, bishop g3, bring in the king, bring in the knight. Where do we want the knight from h2 to land? It's not clear to me. For black, I mean, I see some idea, like, I think for black, he might want to play a5, a4 to trade the pawn in b3. He would be happy to trade. The more pawns he trades, the better. You know, rook d1, knight f1, g3, d5. Wait, g3? f5, sorry. Rook d1, knight f1. Okay, so that was your idea. Okay, could work, but maybe if you want to do that, you gotta be careful so that whenever you're arriving in g3, not to allow this and lose your bishop. I think maybe this knight would be nice in f4 if you could make it there. Maybe. But if you go g4, king g2, then maybe you can bring the knight towards f4. But if you go king g2, then this is hanging. Oops. This pawn is hanging. So nothing really works here. Regina, you need to help us. You need to help us come up with a plan, because we're running out of plans for white. I mean, I'm not liking the bishop in h4. I don't think it's the right place for the bishop, you know? Yes, sweetheart. What is it, sweetie? What is it? Yes, you're a cutie. You're a cutie. It's funny how the shadow of Regina's tail shows behind, like... I just realized that. That's funny. Oh, Regina, your tail is something else. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I can't find a plan. If someone in the chat sees one, please enlighten us. Because at this point, I guess you just need to try to make improvement moves. Like maybe rook d1 or rook e1 to keep that pawn protected. And then I would go g4. And then king g2, because I don't want to give up that pawn, you know? And then knight comes in, and king g3 stacks the bishop in h4. And that's why I didn't want the bishop there. Ow! Did you just bite me? Did you bite me? You cutie. You cutie. You're such a cutie. But you bite sometimes. Regina started biting. Is that a normal thing that cats do? Bite? Like, I knew dogs bite sometimes, but cats? Never. Since when did you start biting, girl? Hmm? Yeah. Yeah. Bah. He doesn't want to trade the rook, but it's actually very hard to come up with a plan. Regina has had enough of this position. She doesn't want it anymore. Let's go to another one. We'll be back. Maybe some idea will come. You know, sometimes when you can't find an idea in a position, if you leave it and you come back to it a few moments later, maybe something different is gonna... What happened to this game? The times disappeared. You wanna leave? Okay, fine. Go. She's left me a lot of hair to deal with. Well, that was fun. That was a fun experience. Now I got hair all over the place. I don't know what to do. You know, some people shave the hair of their cats, bring them to a place to get it cut. I've seen people who, because she's kind of like a Maine Coon, I've seen people who like cut their cat's hairs on their body and just leave the, you know, lion-like head, which I think it's interesting, but I don't know if I would do it to her. She gets cold sometimes. She sneezes. Okay, knight h2. Back to our focus here. Knight h2. Rook a6. I don't know why that idea is familiar, but I don't remember the game that you're talking about. So, and this position with white, did white's plan change? Does white try to go for f4 here? I have the feeling that yes. I have the feeling that the answer is yes. Because if you go for an idea like f4 at some point, you can get your bishop from d2 away from there, get your queen to d2, then your knights come back into play. You're giving the e5 square, but maybe you're getting, you know, pressure in h6, the f-file to deal with. Maybe something like that could actually be good for white, you know? Maybe it could be good for white. And this position has changed quite a bit since we last saw it. So it seems that white has decided to go for c3. Maybe a bit too soon? Since black doesn't really have much, you can always try to put your king here, maybe even march it a bit towards that side of the board, and then play with g4. I've seen games with g4 that were kind of unpleasant, but okay, not just yet, because you're not ready. I don't like the position of the king, but if white can find some safety for this king, then they can try to go for g4, in my opinion. g3 also can work, and then just go h4, h5, but h4 could be met with h5. So maybe he can go h4, h5, actually, and then g4. Now that, you know, if you push this pawn all the way there, you chase the knight. So you just need to prep it. Maybe you go g3, h4. If he plays h5, knight g5, that pawn will be lost. So then white goes h5, pushes the knight back, moves the king to h2 somewhere, and then goes rook g1 and g4. I think this would be a plan that I would consider playing. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but I feel that white could try to focus on the king side. That is the side of the board where he's got more space. This could be interesting as well, what he did. But I just don't know. I just don't know if I like... Wait, I'm confused. Why didn't he take? I'm just so confused. I don't get it. I mean, why would he let black with that pawn in c3, guys? Any thoughts? Because I don't have any. I just don't understand. Bishop d3. No, but bishop d3 rook. Ah. Oh, sorry, but I thought it doesn't work. Oh, he has this check. Okay, right. Okay, okay. Sorry, I miscalculated. Okay, fine. Okay, and if I take knight 4. Okay, what if I just move the queen here? I think if I just move the queen, I'm... Okay, you can sack the queen. You can sack the queen. How do we evaluate this position? Queen and a pawn for 2 rooks. Should be good. Yeah, should be good here. What does the engine say? 1.2. So definitely slightly better for white. I mean, you cannot allow a pawn in c3 like that, and don't play c3, you know? If you're gonna be... If you play c3, you need to calculate that you can get your pawn back. Otherwise, don't play it. Like, what's the rush? Play g3. g3 also protects. Then you can play c3 if you want to. I mean, he might move the queen from there, but then you don't play. Like, you see, this position is similar to the previous one, where the position is blockaded. Not previous, this number 4. Where everything is kind of blockaded on that side of the board. There's nothing that black can do. There's not much that black can do on this side of the board before c3. You can even go a4 to make sure that no ideas with a5, a4 are gonna happen. You know, so that's gonna be locked. So you go a4, keep that locked, and then focus something on this side of the board. That's where you should be focused on. Like, what is he doing? I'm not liking this, what Scott is doing here. It just seems very, very unpleasant. Ah, he didn't want a4 because c3. You're right. Well, I'm saying a4 because I want to play on this side of the board. If you want to still play c3, just play g3 then. First, and then go c3 if you... But if you do play, like, just try to come up with a way to get your pawn back. I don't like this at all. I mean, yes, maybe you can get your pawn back, but if I go queen a5, maybe I can hold on to it a bit longer, you know? You have to try harder to actually get your pawn back, like... I'm not a huge fan of what white did in this position. Let's move on to the other ones. So not much has changed for black here. Definitely white needs to move this bishop away, move the knight, and then support the f4, e5, as I told you previously. It will take some time, but he will get it ready. Cute, yeah, maybe something like that, where knight g5, bishop takes h3, queen takes, and then knight f3 mate. Yeah, something like that. How did... I like queen there. You gotta deal with this somehow, yeah. I guess white can play knight. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he probably has to play something like that. White's pieces are a bit stuck now. You don't have b4. You don't have f4. You're a bit stuck. Okay. Yeah, rook b1 is definitely not what I was thinking. And now he brought the knight. I still don't know what the plan is. Back to this position where we're not sure. Rook b1, but then what do? You can play b4, b5, but that's about all you can do there. You can't push that pawn too much. You can just keep it protected, but it's already protected. Like, it just seems kind of useless to me. We'll have to wait and see. There's no crushing position in this round. Everything is so positional improvement, quite balanced positions, and usually you would encounter that when you see people playing, people of similar level playing each other. You know, if they're around, 2200 both players, of course they're gonna make a bit less mistakes and come up with good plans. I mean, this was a mistake in my opinion for white, because now plans with g4 won't work so great anymore. This one we have to see. He's prepping f4 for sure, so that's gonna be something that white is gonna go for sure. This one, I thought knight f5 to stop, as Just Lover said here. Takes knight, queen takes h3, and the knight f3 mate. Okay. Things have changed quite a bit here. So it looks like white did not want to decide whether they would push or take, and it was black who decided their fate. And their pawns, white's pawns, are a bit separated here. I don't think it's the end of the world, because white has the bishop pair at least. So what do we do? Do we go back? Do we go h4? I mean, back here, I was thinking maybe to go bishop here if they take. This is another move we can do, queen d2. Bishop d2 I don't like. I want to go bishop d2. It's just way too passive for the bishop to go there. But yeah. Yeah, there are quite a bit of moves here for white to play. Queen d2, h4, bishop f4, bishop d2. But bishop d2 just looks ugly. It's just way too passive. I think it's a bit too passive to put the bishop in d2. All right. This is a nice move for various reasons. First off, you're looking to potentially go bishop h6 and trade the defending bishop, and that's a strong bishop for black because the diagonal will get open. And it's also nice because b3 will be met with a3, and that way white is not forced to, oh, look at that, a3 should be played instantaneously. No time to think. There's nothing to think about. You just gotta play it. Just play a3 and you think about it later. Just because, yeah, e6 is not possible with the bishop here and the pressure. But anyways, I mean, even if it were, white would have to find a way to go e5, and that would be pretty good for him. So, yes. Okay, so Nick played a3 quite fast, which is good. because now he keeps everything protected. There's no entrance. I don't know. I guess this pawn might be a bit weak. Yeah, white is definitely in the driver's seat here, for sure. Definitely. Bishop h6, king h1, knight h2, f4, knight g4, you know. I can play quite a bit of moves for white. As for black, it's just very hard to come up with anything. Looks like black... Huh. Why did the times disappear in that game? Hey, casual player, how are you doing? Great to see you back. We're looking at some very positional positions games. Yeah, I'm not sure. It says 24 minutes. Are the times updated? Okay, I will send a message just to make sure that everything is updated. $24 minutes to an hour, yeah. Not easy. Not easy. Let's see. Which one seems to have a problem? Board 3. Okay, I'll find out about board 3. Hi, unknown guy. How are you doing? We're doing all right. How are you? So white had the opportunity to take the pawn a few moves back. I didn't think c3 was necessary, but he did play it, and he had the opportunity to take the pawn back. He just kind of panicked here about... Oops, sorry, wait. Queen takes. Wait, how is it? Rook d3? No. Wait, what was the line? Oh, sorry. Bishop d3, queen e3. I was like, this wasn't it. This wasn't it. What did I find? So this was the idea, to try to get the bishop the next move. So this is something that white could have considered doing. And just get the pawn. Because I think the other line just loses some material. So... he had the opportunity, he did not go for it. He went for bishop e3 instead. And then rook c1. And now black's been thinking for a while now. Oh. Looks like board 3 is over already. This game is over. I don't know what happened. We're gonna find out soon. The TD is checking on it. But there's some error on board 2. That's good to know. That's good to know. How are you doing, unknown guy? I know, I haven't been streaming in a while myself. So this is the first stream in a while for me too. I've been doing commentary for US Chess, but not on my own channel, which I need to be better about, which I will be this weekend. I'm doing this, and then I'll try to build up some kind of schedule that I get in a few times a week at least. All right. So, knight e1. Where's he bringing the knight? Is he bringing it towards c5? Oh, cool. Cool. I'm doing all right. Just going through some stuff. Doing some commentary. Working on my chess, trying to get some rating back. I was on the right track, but then I lost some rating, so trying to figure out what my next tournament is going to be at the moment. I only have one in Charlotte for June, but I think I should play something before that in May. But I couldn't come up with anything, only Charlotte, so maybe I'll just go to Charlotte. Any chess drama? Not that I know of. Not that I know of. But there's a famous actor with his kids there, so that was surprising to see. I actually saw him, but I was too scared to go. I was too shy to go ask for a picture, so I did not ask for a picture because I was just thinking, you know what? Actor or not, you know, they're there as parents to their kids, to support their kids to play well. So, you know, I didn't want to be that one person that's being rude and takes advantage of it. How to save d5 pawn though? Yeah, I agree. That's a nice idea. Because there, rook a5. And then how do you want to just bring the bishop to c7 maybe and try to chase the rook away? Yeah. But I think these moves are actually weakening. I'm not sure if black should have done that. Because you see with the knight here now, additional knight to try to keep this this rook in a2 restricted. With the bishop coming in too, black has to be careful not to get his rook trapped. g5 starts knight f4. I thought you wanted knight b4. You wanted knight f4? Yeah, I need to win about 70 rating points until July rating list. I don't know if I can do that. I'm definitely gonna try. I'm gonna try my best. Yeah, but night before, that's what I was thinking. But he has rook a5, which I don't know how we're gonna deal with that. Okay, we'll be back to this game. Let's see what happened to this one. So it had an error or something, apparently. Okay, I don't see the error. Seems like everything is fine. White is planning for f4. I mean... No, we don't do stuff like that, guys. You gotta win them on your own hard work, and you know, I might joke sometimes, make some stupid joke, but that's wrong. I would never do that. I would never try to ask someone to give me some points or something. It's totally, you know, unfair play, illegal. It's not illegal, but it's kind of illegal. Okay. I'm waiting for f4. Queen b3. Yeah, queen b3, sure. Queen b3. I don't think the queen needs to be on that side. You can bring it on this side of the board if you go f4. Takes, knight takes, queen f3, queen knight g4. Yes, this might get a bit sharp, so I'm hoping. Because... But yeah, look at the times. If those times are correct, I'm not liking White's chances. 20 minutes to 1 hour? That's not fun. Nothing's happened with this game. Maybe they accepted a draw. in this position. I wonder if they accepted a draw, because the TT told me the game is over, but he didn't tell me the results. So maybe in a few minutes we'll be back, because I don't see any more moves. So there is a chance that they went for a draw there. Wait, what is white doing? He has to go for e5. Went rook e1. I'm not sure what that rook move is for. I'd rather go bishop h6 first, move the knight, and go f4. I don't think this rook e1 is necessary. Yeah, it seems like he took some time. That was no knight here. Actually, I don't mind it. I don't mind that, but I would go bishop h6. So what did that guy go do? Here, here. Let's say here. Maybe rook e1 is helpful to push e5 later. Yeah, if you play f6, then you're weakening this square, so we'll have ideas to bring in the bishop, you know? It's not so easy. It's not easy at all. Oh, bishop a6. I guess I can just... Yeah, maybe I just... You're right, maybe that's why he played rook e1, not to be pinned, so he could go e5. Yeah, black's position is cramped and he has no plan, because he's blockaded his plan on the queen side, and e6 won't work because it leaves the pawn unprotected. So, in my opinion, this position is just played for two results. It looks like a Benoni, yeah, but a bad kind, because black in the Benoni manages to trade in c4, create some counterplay on the queen side. Here, not so much. Not so much. Not a good one, anyways. Or what? What? Long castle? With the b file opened? Ooh, you know what I'm thinking? First thing that I thought about? Queen takes c6. B takes c6. Rook b8. Checkmate. It's not real checkmate. But bishop there. That's, what's the name of that? That's the name of that mate. I can't think of it. You guys know. Tell me the name. Boden's mate. That's right. Boden's mate. That was my first instinct. Boden's mate. Let's make it happen. Alright, so he might go for that kind of idea. Yeah, queen b3, queen d3, bishop e2, bam bam. Taking c6 and mate. Or he might go, you know, maybe he will move the queen so that there's no discovered idea, and then bring it on the c file, taking c6, or bring it on the a file. This is not looking good for black. I'm not liking that move at all. You know, black's king is much safer here than it is there in this situation. Why? First off, you know, c6 is played, which means that diagonal is open. He's got no bishop to cover the dark squares, and this file is open. So no matter what you tell me, there's no way you can convince me the long castle, you thought long castle is good. I do not know why black made the decision, but he's not gonna be happy with it. Queen a5, I thought maybe queen a5 or queen c5. I think either one of these moves should be fine. So we gotta figure out how do we bring in the queen to help us. Maybe queen b1, you know, maybe to put pressure. And then, you know, we can go queen b2, rook b1, some Alekhine gun idea. Not exactly, but kind of tripling on the file. Queen c5, there's bishop d6. Okay, so then he moves. Then rook a3. I see your point. Okay. Maybe the queen could go there. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Maybe queen a5 makes a bit more sense, because it avoids the bishop going in there with tempo. I can still go queen b1. And maybe we'll go bishop d6, rook a3 later. Depending on what black plays, you know. I like this position for white very, very much. Okay, we'll be back to this game. We'll be back and see what happened. Definitely, I'm glad we're getting some attacking ideas. Oh, white did not play knight f5 in that position. After queen h4, he did not. I thought knight f5 was a pretty good move to try to just trade a piece, but he went queen e2, which allowed g6, which I like for black first. And now we might want to go knight g5 and sacrificing h3, and white played here. Obviously bishop d4, I don't know. Oh, wait. Is this possible? Oh, you're being very fancy. Knight g5. No? Bishop takes. Wait, it's not mate. Oh, wait. If you take, we're gonna have some mate somehow, or at least winning the queen. This is not looking safe for white. So bishop d4, just let him take, basically. Yeah, I like your idea, yeah. This bishop is important. You definitely don't want to let it be traded. Whether you take him before or leave it there, you don't want that. He can have the rook in f8. I agree, chess lover. Let them have it. We're going for the mate. We're going for the mate. Okay. So this game did indeed end in a draw. We thought white was slightly better there. Yes, looks like the engine has checked this. Okay. But I didn't like c3. I did not like c3. What was the engine saying in this position? g3, bishop c1, a4. Okay, it has different kind of moves, but yeah, I mean, c3 was not really ideal, and the players agreed on the draw, so that means that Ramir Scott goes on to 2.5 points out of 3, while Venkat Raghav goes on to 2 points because he took a bye in the first round. So we have board 1 and board 2 still playing for full point, for 100% after 3 rounds. And on board 1, I think white is definitely the one playing for a win with the 2 knights for the rook, and he needs to figure out more improvement ideas. I mean, we like this knight d3 before, but you might not end up winning anything, so Scott could have tried bishop c1. So I don't think the bishop is so dangerous. It has no threat. It just looks nice and whatever. I think white had this plan, so I was suggesting earlier g3, h4, h5, get the knight away from there, move the king over, and then go for g4. I think g4 is white's plan. There's nothing that's happening on the queen side. Not so much going on. I think white should be perfectly fine focusing on the king side. But that's just my opinion. Knight a4. Why did he go knight a4? There's no threat in this position. Knight a4 will allow black to... he just has this thing set up. You can't go there. Okay. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. According to me, who will win, Gukesh or Ding? Good question. I think Gukesh has pretty big chances to win, in my opinion. I think Ding does not seem to be as excited to play, but I could get him totally wrong. I think Gukesh is I mean, both players will get quite a bit of support from their own federations, I think. Yeah, he seems so calm. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel that Gukesh seems so calm when he plays. During the World Championship last year, he seemed a bit stressed out. Didn't you guys feel that way? I feel that he looked kind of stressed out. And it's important to be calm and composed and play until the end. Yeah, he has some good nerves, but I don't know. I think it all depends on their preparation and mental state when the tournament takes place. Yeah. No, but I thought Ding was stressed out during the World Championship, like, before he won it. I thought he was just stressed out, but who am I to say? I was never in that position, so it's just maybe a bit hard to kind of say what exactly would happen with each person, but yeah. Also, Ding is so young. If he doesn't put too much pressure on in his mind that he wants to be the youngest world champion, then I think he has a big chance to win. I think he's got a good team, got his country support. I mean, Ding has a pretty good team as well, I guess, but it's tricky. It is very tricky. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's only a few more months. And then we'll be able to watch the World Championship, Yeah, I just don't like the 1984. I don't know why he put it there. Like, what's the point? Leave the 19C3, let them take it. Here, he will have some 9B6. Obviously, he can't do it now, but he will eventually. Good evening, Michael. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for following. Maybe I can finally hit 5,000. I've been streaming for way too long. 98. So he needs to... he's not going to be able to play 9B6 easily, but... Really, why did he go for that move? It's not a bad move per se. Knight C8. I definitely would go for bishop H6. I think. I see what Knight C8 is for, actually. He's trying to keep this pawn protected, so maybe he will consider something like this. Game name? What do you mean game name? It's chess. This game is called chess. Yeah, it disconnects the rooks, but it protects this pawn, and he needs that pawn protected to be able to play e6. At least he's trying to create something for him, so he doesn't just sit and wait for white to play e5. He's trying to create some idea with the a6. We'll be back to this game. Oh, check this out. White was trying... Queen a5 was played indeed, as we discussed for this position. And then white is being a bit too aggressive. Come on. Come on. You're preparing it way too easily. You're making it way too easy. Now your diagonal got blockaded. I guess you could have gotten blockaded anyways. That was possibly black's threat to go e5. So if we go bishop d6, he might just move the knight. And then we're pinned. What about if we go queen c1 so that we can go for this idea? I really like that idea. As soon as whoever said it, one of you, maybe casual player said it, this idea with bishop d6, rook a3, as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, this is it. This is the idea that we want to do with white. We're trying to get more space. More attack on the king, on black's king. So this would be nice. This would be very nice. Okay. Okie dokie dokie. Bishop b4. Nothing's happening here. Black has been thinking for about 14 minutes now. Oh my god, raid! Thank you so much, Ben and Karen. I really appreciate it. Welcome, everyone. How are you guys doing? How is your stream? I hope everything was good. Hope you are... Okay, I should have... Be sure to follow Ben and Karen. But most of you come from there. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are doing well and had a good stream. I'm currently doing commentary for this 29th Space Coast Open. We have 6 games to look at, and we're trying to understand some of the ideas that the players are going through, and just sometimes we don't understand anything. Even with the engine, if we turn it on, we don't understand. So we try our best. But again, really appreciate it, Ben and Karen, and I hope all is good, and I hope I'll see you in Atlanta. I'll be coming to Atlanta to do commentary for the middle school championship. So if you guys are there, would love to say hi at least. Okay, so bishop d4 was played indeed. Finally. I was expecting that move to be played 14 minutes ago. I'm tough. I'm tough with these guys. But this idea that we discussed with Chess Lover was pretty nice, because we're basically saying we don't care. Oh no, my rook, take it. Take it. And once you take it, this king is going to be in so much trouble after bishop takes h3. And you basically realize that black is attacking here with 4 pieces, and that's why we can afford to make all these sacrifices, right? And then takes, and then this bishop, which was out of play, was not doing much, supposedly, now it does, and then we will be able to just play knight f3, or maybe there are some other moves that can work too, but this is definitely going to be really, really good for black. So white most likely cannot take that, but I'm not even sure how they're planning to stop knight g5. I guess technically you can go back, but we can still play knight g5, and then if you take, then maybe we can take with the pawn and then go g4. And black, again, has quite a bit of pressure there. Always attack with lots of pieces. Yeah, king g7, rook h8. The more the merrier, the more pieces you have. And always remember that, you know, you need a minimum of 3 pieces when you're building up an attack. When you want to sacrifice, you can sacrifice 1, and then the remaining will help you with the mate. So that's really, really good. So we're really liking this move, bishop d4. And what if white continues? What if white says, you know what? I want to trade that bishop. I can't stand that bishop. What do we do? I think in that situation, we're gonna go for c5 and just super strengthen our bishop in the center. Takes back. Always look for a quick mate. Yeah, sure, if you have the chance to. Yeah, look for some mates. Look for some mates. But this is gonna be good, and then definitely black still wants to go knight g5. But this attack came out of nowhere. The position earlier seemed perfectly fine for white. I think he's made a mistake allowing a4. That move should not have been allowed. It's very important to chase this bishop away, even if he gets bishop d4, I think. Now, in retrospect, of course, it's much easier to understand this. When the game was played, it wasn't so easy, maybe. But that move had to be played, and now, okay, he still has something, but at least you are not, your position doesn't get completely restricted with a4. This is very good for white. White's pieces aren't doing much on the queen side. Yeah, they're not doing so much. Kind of stuck. All right, let's start over with the top board between Grandmaster Zhuzhan Chao and Theodore Slade. And this game, Theodore, basically earlier in the game, he had this weakness in c6, and I thought he should go back and protect it. But then I saw this idea and I thought, ooh, he can set up a trap. But the problem is that the trap wasn't quite a trap, because after queen takes c6 and bishop takes h2 check, white captured, and now these two pieces are, protected. So white had bishop takes f6, and now he remained with two minor pieces for rook and a pawn, but that pawn fell pretty fast. Oh, another raid, Lefong. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for being here. Let's see. I need to... Be sure to follow Lefong, guys. I really appreciate this. I haven't had the raids in a long time, but I also didn't stream much, so that's normal, I guess. Currently doing commentary for this tournament that takes place in Florida. It's called Space Coast Open Chess Festival, and we have 6 games that we're going over, and you guys can you can check out the games on Lichess. I thought there was a link, but I guess it disappeared somehow from Twitch, so I'm gonna put it again. Here it is. That is the link that you guys can click and check out the games as well if you want on your own. But we're looking at this board 1 where we thought, I thought white was much better with the 2 knights, but not quite, not quite. And he came up with some ideas, and I guess black kind of weakened his position. And now we're liking white, right, chess lover? Knight d3, f3, and is he planning, do you think he's planning to go e4? No. Oh, he played f3 to bring the bishop. That's what he's trying to do, bring the bishop, although black might consider this, but you know what I think? I think white would be happy because the rook opens up, and with the bishop here, you actually cannot trade the rook, something that could have happened actually previously. So this is quite interesting. Oh, we got another result. What? Okay, well, this game was quite balanced, so I guess the players decided, agreed on a draw after this move. Queen b7, they agreed on a draw. Maybe it was a tough day, and they played a long game in the morning, and then... Okay. Alright. It's not much. It's not much. I mean, I did think that white would start with some attack here. Yeah, Jokori was the lower rated player. He had a nice win in the morning. It's true. It's true. So he's probably happy with 1.5 out of 2 today. So boards 2 and 3 drew, and we got 4 games remaining. And if we do like a really fast evaluation, we remember that this is going to be a press-on game where white is going to press on blacks, trying to improve slowly. Maybe, now that a5 was played, actually, maybe this rook can be somehow trapped. White can come up with some ideas, try to trap the rook. I think that could certainly happen. In this game, I definitely think white is much better. If you look at the pawn structure, and try to get used to do that when the position is blockaded, white has blockaded the queen side, and now he can focus on finding a way to push e5 or h5. Actually, now that he pushed h4, this is a move that just happened that I guess I missed. h4, he might try h5, king g2, move the bishop out, bring the rooks on the h file, and then this might not be so easy. It's white's turn here, yes. In this game, white had some chances, but I don't think he should have allowed e5 to be played. I guess this was the idea, but after e5, the difference is that now you go here, and you're going to threaten to get that pawn, which I'm not so sure how black can defend, you know? But unless you play a move like b6, knight b6, but then you're trapping somehow your queen and you're weakening your king a bit more. So that's something you should try to avoid. But instead you play queen d6, which now I know he played bishop d2. I was thinking maybe still bishop b3, but white has to be super cautious not to lose the queen. He has this move, and you don't want to trade queens. You want to build up an attack here. Yeah, with queens you have mating nets. Without queens, it will be tough. That's why I guess he played bishop here to be with tempo, but black can try queen c7 or queen c5, trying to force the queen trade. And if the queens get traded, then, you know, we should be fine, right? Yeah, that's a great advice, just lover. Never lead with the queen unless it's mate. I don't think I heard that before, but that sounds about right. I wouldn't really say never, because in chess, no rule stands forever. Every rule can be broken. There will be there would be exceptions that rules can be broken. So, anyways, oh my goodness. Guys, it's happening. It is happening. We have finally a sharp game. Bishop d4 gave the pawn, and black is going for the mate. No questions asked. And black is in pole position here. I mean, not just driver's seat, like it's definitely right, really close to converting this game. White was scared to take the rook because of bishop takes h3, and I already showed this line a few times. You know, takes, back, knight comes in, this king is gonna get checkmated. So bishop e7, and now we need to think. He played f6. Actually, I like it. Smart idea. Yeah. Why? Yeah, just block that. So, because black still wants to utilize the knight for that check eventually. So, you know, if you take directly, probably bishop takes g5, and white is doing fine, because you lose a piece. But if you play f6, you're blocking the bishop. Ooh, this looks nice. This is not looking good for white. I agree. It's not. It's not looking good at all. Rook h1. Rook h1, interesting. But how does that defend? I guess after rook h1, you're just thinking, if I capture here, you're gonna go king g1 or something? But guess what? I take it anyways. I don't care. Takes here. Maybe you can run away. Maybe you can run away. That is something that can happen, sure. Okay, so rook h1. Okay, give me a moment. Give me a moment to think here. Run away, run away. What if I take with the knight takes? Check, check. Bishop here, check. Let's see. Knight takes, check. 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 No, white is running away. Okay, maybe your rook h1 has some defensive ideas. Although, you might... No, you don't lose the rook just yet now. If I go queen here, maybe you can go rook f1. Rook f1, queen takes. Queen f1. Queen takes, bishop takes, and it's equal. Okay, maybe I cannot. I can just play rook f7 to make sure my rook never hangs. Or rook, yeah, just chase your bishop away, and after that I can capture. This is looking good for black. It's looking really good. Rook b8, b3. Haha, cute. Yeah, sure. You can bring additional attackers if you want, for sure. This would be pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so we have finally a very sharp position. Very sharp, very sacrificial, and it just seems kind of hard for white to find a defense. He's pretty much stuck here. I like f6. I think this was definitely a very, very good move. And I don't see a defense for white. You can't go... I mean, how great would it be if you could go queen g4, but you cannot do that. So this is dangerous. Dangerous. Okay, a couple of things have changed here. The knight was brought... The knight from h2, that knight came from h2, is brought to d3. Okay. Now he has to kind of bring this bishop. Yep. Bishop there. He's also covering pretty much all of these squares and all of these squares, which means this rook is stuck to only this one. Huh. Okay. Okay. I wasn't sure how he was going to improve, but he has shown us something. I still don't see how to trap the... Actually, I saw an idea. So basically, let's just say you make a move. Something. I don't know what you make. Okay, let's say you go there. So I think I go there, and then I could... Oh, no, I can't. Yeah. I can try to bring in my king over here or here, and then put the knight here, and I've trapped your rook. Wow. So you definitely need to play here to get that rook out fast, or else you risk losing it. So he may consider doing it. And we kind of have to take. But in this situation, as I said earlier, now white has the opportunity to activate his rook, which would be really good. He would be happy with that idea. Very happy. Very, very happy. This is going to be also a very instructive endgame that we'll see. Okay, back to this one, where white has decided to trade the dark square bishops. Not h5. I was thinking maybe he played h4 to go h5, but I guess he wants to trade the bishop first. If black doesn't trade and goes back, maybe now h5? King g2? Bishop here? The same idea as we saw previously. And if you're wondering how the queen will get to h6, you can simply sacrifice the bishop and bring in your queen. You just have to see when is the right time, but you could typically do something like that. In this position. Oh no. Marvin, what have you done with your position? Your position was so good and you traded queens. I mean, here it's gonna be hard to still come up with something. Because we have the bishop pair, but this bishop doesn't do so much. You can't get Bolden's mate. I mean, you could, but it's kind of hard. I guess, you know, white may want to go rook b1 and, you know, don't you dare play b6 because something like this could happen. But to think that white would have some chances, I don't know. I don't know. I think he's lost a bit of his... He's lost all of his initiative, you know. Knight e8. Knight e8, bishop e7, right? And they win their rook. Right? I win your exchange. I mean, I'm happy. Why? Why do that? You don't need to. There's no need. No cause for alarm. I think black is fine here, but if he doesn't find some... Okay, he probably can go here first and then knight here to keep his position safe. Yeah, wouldn't it be great to go king c7? If only this was anti-chess, unknown guy. If only this was anti-chess. But it's not. Oh, knight b6, bishop c5? But then I open the d file, does that? Yeah, then I go king c7. Okay, so let's put a couple of moves. So here, I thought knight b6. Actually, king c7 doesn't defend. Yeah, this I like. I agree. Pin that and win that. Okay, so maybe I need to do something different. Okay, I can also play b6. Actually. Right? Because if you go here, I can go king b7. And there's no mate. There's no mate on the horizon. I should be good to go. Good to go. Right now, yeah, that's hanging, so you can protect it by playing f3 or something, but okay, I mean, no big deal. I'm not worried. I'm not too worried. a5, a4. Yeah, but you gotta be careful not to lose. Like, I don't know that I want to weaken that too much. Maybe I can play f3. Oh, a4, a5. Okay, sorry, I read it wrong. Sorry. Yes, white has that black. I mean, I'm not saying this is winning for black. I'm just saying he avoided a lot of attack with the queens on the board. And now he's just gonna struggle a bit to figure out... White, I mean, to figure out how to do everything. He has some simple plan, but I think with natural moves, black should be able to defend all the threats. He's got the two knights. The bishop in f3 is the issue, is the piece that you try to improve, and it's not so easy to do that. So, ooh, oh, knight f5. That's new. Okay. So the idea is that now... it's with tempo, and I thought g3 is an option, but there's no option. Rook f7, rook g7. Rook g7, or take the bishop first and then... Maybe. Or just move the bishop, bishop f7. He played. What did he play? Bishop f7. That's what he played. Okay. I guessed it. I guessed it before it was played. Good job, Sabina. Good job. Okay, but now what happens? Yeah, that was my plan. Yeah, to go over here. So if he takes, that's We can go there, or we can take the bishop first and then go there. Yeah, free pawn. That was the thing that I was looking at to see. But is that pawn really free? So here. Take with the... I would say with the pawn because I want to play g4. And then you can play g4 here, actually. And I got an extra piece with black for 3 pawns. I don't know. It's actually fine. Piece for 3 pawns, it's, you know, equal amount of material. You should be fine with that, right? You should be happy with that. Bishop takes f6, sorry. Yeah, this seems forcing. Knight f5, what a move. I did not think about it. I did not think about it at all. Maybe you should have gone rook f7. I think I wanted to keep my bishop, but since there's g4, which I missed, now I'm not so happy. e4 takes, bishop e5, I move the king back. You don't want to get rid of the bishop in d4. I think the bishop is pretty good. Oh, you mean in that position? Or you take the bishop first? King or rook? Then to do something like that, it's an option. But wait a second, so here... Oh wait, what? Did I shoot this? No, here. No. First take. Sorry, my bad. I was like, did I show a blunder? No, I did not. Okay, here g4. Because you don't have the knight anymore to attack. Get a queen f4. Or when can you get a queen f4? You just don't have the time. After bishop takes f6, you don't have the time. Okay. He did not go bishop f6. He decided to be greedy. He took in f8. He took in f8. What to do now? King takes or rook takes or bishop h5. That's the right kind of question. The question to ask yourself in this position. Which one is better? Which one is it? Normally I would say rook takes f8, so you move the king and then rook g8. I don't know if it makes any change. I agree, Chesslover. I like bishop takes f6. I think this gave white some chances because it's gonna be 3 pawns here. It's gonna be 3 pawns and they're protected, and okay, it's tough to defend, but you might try something like this to create some kind of fortress. I mean, this is week 2, so, you know, black has to regroup to try to get to take that one. So maybe if you manage to hold on to it, maybe you'll be fine. But yeah. But taking in f8 now, Personally, I would go for this move because I just think you bring the rook a bit closer. Unless there's something I'm missing. I guess this could be a thing, and you get this endgame. And we have something similar to that first board where, you know, we have a knight and bishop. In that one is 2 knights, but here knight and bishop for rook and 2 pawns, but maybe b2 is gonna fall as well, you know? So c5, yes, c5 for white, or here's black's turn, so I guess you mean it for black. Yeah, this one, maybe that way, maybe we take with the king so that we keep a4 protected, you're right. Maybe now it makes sense, maybe we take with the king. Or maybe we go bishop h5 first, since now g4 is not an option because that's hanging. So if they go here, now we take, and maybe we take with the king to keep that protected. This is an option as well, and we're keeping the queens on the board. We have still this check that Cheslover is talking about, and then maybe some queen g3, knight takes h3 idea, bishop takes f3. I think this is better because they're keeping. No, maybe he can still trade. Maybe he can still trade them, and if you check queen g3, so he still has the option to trade. Gosh, this guy is not gonna stop until he trades the queens. But okay, b2 will be hanging eventually after we trade queens, right? Can we just take, and take? Maybe, you know, maybe this works. It's gonna be a game. It's gonna be a game. We'll be back to this one shortly. Let's go rerun. Let's do a rerun. And h4 was played. Okay, the idea. So now let's see. Is it worth it to bring the king over here and then try to go knight c2 or not? Probably not, because black's gonna play a4, so you're just wasting a lot of time. But what to do? This pawn is annoying over here. I don't know if g3 works. But I know this rook is stuck. Maybe we can go g3. Looks like white is lost. Do you think white is lost? This position? Why would white be lost? He's got 2 knights for the rook and a pawn. So that's equal material technically. Oh, the other game. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, the other game I agree. So he's just trying his best to go towards an endgame where maybe he has some chances because rook and 2 pawns. But yeah, I agree. b2 will be hanging, a3 will be hanging. It's just tough. So what is this guy doing? Mr. Zhu Chao. Where are you going with your knight? So he moved it from here. Does he want to play g3 and take with the knight? I was thinking bishop c3, b2, knight c3. I don't think so. You know why? Because when you do that, I go here, and when you put your knight here, I'm just gonna take, and then take. So it's still not working. And if you put the knight in c1, then I still take in b2, and then I take in c1, or... You know, so that doesn't work either. It has to do with the break of these pawns, I think, and bring in the king. So you have to do something. And if you break through the pawns, or maybe you just put the knight here. Maybe that's what he wants, actually. Maybe he wants to put the knight there to get to attack this pawn. And he might switch somehow to bring more attackers. You think f4, but f4, I will meet that with g4. And you got stuck, but then you take an h4. Oh, wait, you got a good point there. What if I do nothing? If you take, I take back. I play king g6. It's not so simple. It's not so simple. Can knight c3 protect knight c2? Ah! Oh, smart. Smart idea. Good, good. You're right. You're right. That is true. I wasn't looking at trying to win the rook because I think a4 is a move that black should play. So for me, this rook is not trapped. But you are right. Yes, maybe this is a threat right now. Maybe not yet. If you go knight c3, still a4 can happen. So let's see. So here, you gotta go a4 or... But now white gets this pawn potentially, you know? Ah. Now things get complicated. Very complicated. Very, very complicated. And white is doing better with the time. Okay, good idea. Knight here and knight here to be played. So I'm assuming we don't want to do this because rook a2, so now you're pinned, so you got stuck. So probably knight c3. What if he takes here? Knight c2, right? Oh, wait, I have a move. Gosh. Gosh, takes. What's happening here? That you're losing here, maybe. Because then I have this move. I guess you have to come here, and then I come here, and then I have this move. This is not looking good. Ouch. Big ouch. Okay, so we can't take the bishop. We need to move. We need to move something. We can play here, and then take. Okay, we'll survive. So, this is the position. This is messy. Taking the other rook, when? After this move? Rook e3? Oh, you want to take this? Well, I think the same thing kind of happens. Unless you don't take back. I mean, maybe you don't take the bishop. Maybe you just leave it. Maybe you take there. And then they'll take here. No, rook a1. No, here, rook a1. I thought there's... Oh, yeah, rook a1. Yeah, sure. I thought that would be hanging, but... Yeah. It's not hanging. I guess technically he could take to see what you go for. Okay. Okay, but that doesn't seem to give advantage to white at all. Is this a move that white missed? So after this, maybe we can take here. Ah, but then there's rook d3. King f2 is the poison of choice, but yeah. I mean, now you gotta figure out how you're gonna get your knight out of there. Out of the pin. Because now you're stuck. Unless you go for f4, your idea from before. If you play some f4 somehow, but here, you know, you got your bishop restricted, so f4 could be met by g4 in this case, which would give black some, you know, nice ideas. Yeah, h3 will be a counterplay at some point, indeed, yeah. After g4. Creating a pass pawn. Okay, let's check back with some of the other... Wow, this is unexpected. Wait, white fell for knight takes d5? Why would he do that such thing? I would trade the knight. Actually, I had this kind of a position. Take back. Or he can take with the queen, I guess. And this, man, that's your play. This is where white should play, because the queen side is blockaded. I would not allow for knight takes d5 unless he missed it. Because this opens up the position and it gives black play. And you didn't win anything. And the knight comes into play. No, this was a big mistake. For sure. Let's see what the engine says. Queen a5. Yep. Yep. Had to take. Had to take here. And e5. Here, I lost 1 point of evaluation. 95. Well, I still like the knight there. I guess maybe it's not too bad for white, but he's kind of now. Okay, if the knights get traded, you take back, and then black's pieces are kind of stuck over there. So we will have ideas with h5, queen g5, f4, bishop d3. Just put pressure on the king side. That's definitely what we can plan for white. And if you don't take, of course, still queen g5 is gonna happen. Maybe white can do this maneuver, knight back e3, f5, or simply g4 h5, and he's putting additional pressure. I guess it's not too bad. This pawn will remain weak for an endgame. If somehow white can trade off to an endgame, he can definitely do some rook lift and grab the pawn, or imagine a king and pawn endgame is definitely winning for white, if that can happen. Okay, lots of things happened since we left this position off. It looks like black decided to play here. Oh, smart. Definitely better than what I suggested. I suggested king b7, but you guys were right. There's some ideas of a4, a5, and create some counterplay, but knight b8 doesn't create any more weaknesses, and this will be met most likely with that. Oh, okay. If white had to give up the bishop pair, now he's down a pawn. I don't think he's gonna survive for too long. The knight should be much better than the bishop, because this bishop is just looking like a pawn, having to protect these pawns on the light square. It's not really ideal. So black's definitely doing better. Where's this game? Okay, which line did they go for? So it looks like black has allowed the trading of the queens in g4. c5, okay, that was suggested in the chat. Well done, chat. Here, and rook b8. Going for that pawn, rook b1, and now black is probably thinking, nope, he's not thinking that. Thought he would try to deflect this bishop so he can, I'm not quite sure what he wants to do with the king in g7. That king would be better off if he comes here, go e4, and then king e5, and just kind of tries to infiltrate, but maybe that works too. What is white gonna do? He's gonna have to stay this passive for the entire time. These pieces are bad. White's pieces are very passive. He is trying to create some fortress, but I think there will be e4 is unstoppable, unless you play f3. They still could play it, and then switch over and take that pawn. Also can play h5. I guess you can take. And then maybe get the bishop over there to support e4 and then go e4. You know, I think that it's important for black to kind of open up the position a bit so that his bishops actually do something. Rook h8. Yeah, because he stays on some discovered check idea. Yeah, this h5 is pretty good. Oh, it looks like f3 was played. So we're gonna have to wait and see if black's gonna go for h5 or e4 idea. Either one seemed fine. Yeah, this looks fine. Here, here, here. To try to take, and if I take, we want rook h8, but I have g4. So you cannot really do that, unknown guy. If I want to go h5, I'd probably go rook h8 first and then h5. Although the king can run through g3, so I'm not sure that's very wise. I like h5 directly. Okay. Alright, so some very sharp... Oh. Okay. Why decided to defend that pawn? And now he's coming back? But how does he plan on improving this? Because, I mean, I guess knight c3, but... Knight c3 anyways? Ah, he's trying to comfort this pawn? Knight c3? And there was a threat of if h5, let's go back to that game. There was a threat at h5 and gx, bishop takes. Sure, bishop f3 and knight f3, yeah. Or rook h8 in order to try to do the discovery instead. Yeah. This is messy for white. It's definitely not pleasant. Things are getting low. Players are getting low in time. That's good. It means that they might start making mistakes. And as soon as they make some mistakes, we'll be there and talk about them. I feel bad sometimes doing commentary because I feel that, you know, I'm the one that's, you know, can see more things. I can sacrifice stuff. They're not my pieces, you know. And I'm trying my best not to sound like I'm being too confident about the mistakes, because obviously I make a bunch when I play my own games, so, you know, don't want to sound like I know it all. Also, occasionally I turn on the engine when I tell you guys let's check it, so that helps me a bit, making sure I know what's going on. Next game. Alright, let's come up with white's attacking plan here. Do we bring the queen? Queen d2? Or queen e3? Queen e6? So she's kind of stuck. And we're looking forward to him capturing the knight. I like this idea. Thanks for stopping by, unknown guy. Hope you have a good night and good luck in your future events and in school. It's easy to say from outside perspective. I agree. It's much harder when you're playing, because you got no one to approve your approve your message, approve your thoughts, approve your thinking process, approve your evaluation, your calculation. You know, you gotta figure all those things on your own, and it's not easy. It's not easy at all to figure things out on your own, to decide on your own. What's been going on here? White's time disappeared, so I don't know if you lost some time or something. He had 5 minutes here. I don't think he lost on time. I know, the time is back. It was just maybe temporary deletion. Okay, so in this one, Black's plan is with f5, g6, f5? I think so. Rook d8, sneaky? Which position are you talking about, Chess Lover? From which game? Oh, here? Oh, yeah. Very sneaky. Very, very sneaky. But we don't know what's going on with White's time. Okay, he made a move. He thought for quite... Oh, wow. He's down to 2 minutes. Okay. This is an interesting choice. But I think we can go for it, right? That was the sneakiness of the move. You can't take because of check your rook. That's easy. What's the plan after this? Takes, takes, takes. Maybe. So he did play it. Vincent with the tactical ideas. He's found quite a few in this game. Gave up that pawn, gave up the rook, put some pressure on White's king, and now he's going for some tactical idea. Very nice. What is Vincent's rating, actually? He's 2216, actually, and his opponent is 2276. Vincent is half a point more. Yes, Alex Barnett is playing. His game was live yesterday. He unfortunately lost, but I haven't seen him play for a long time. What happened? Oh, Black wound up playing h3 himself. Trading pawns is good, but now it also gives White the opportunity to improve the position of their king. Unless Black wants bishop f1 if you go king h2. Yeah, if you go king h2, you might lose something after this. Yeah, I think he went on to become a lawyer or something. I'm not sure. He went to UMBC like me. So we're teammates. What's a plan for White now? TBD. TBD. we'll let Zhuzhan decide. We'll be back to that. What? He took the rook? Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting this. Wait, he also played rook d3. I was thinking to bring in the queen to h6 and push h5. Oh, this is a different plan than what I thought. So he took with the rook. Well, actually, it's not bad because you're gonna win one of those pawns. And it's looking nice, actually, for White. Rook takes 2. My plan was to take with the pawn because it's not my game, so I'm looking for an attack. But this looks pretty good too. We're gonna win at least a pawn here. And then White can continue the attack anyways with h5. He's very well set. Bishop is good. Like, all the pieces of White seem fine. Black is the one with too many weaknesses. Way too many. It's not easy to defend. We haven't seen a move in this game for a while. And f4. Okay. That is a first. f4. We did not think about this move with white. Maybe we should... Maybe after f4... Take. Can we take? And I'm thinking, should we go here? Or actually, he doesn't want to take. Maybe we can just take. I don't know. I'm not liking this position for white. It's bad. It's really bad. But I guess he had no choice. But yeah, I definitely would take the bishop because, you know, when take the knight, the h file gets opened. We have rook h8 idea. We have bishop e5. We have bishop c3 or bishop e3 to chase it away. The only thing I can think of that white could do is try to push that pawn, but what's that gonna do? It does nothing. Can even take this pawn too. Oh, this looks bad. Oh, this happened. This just happened, so that's my anticipation. Yeah, too many ideas for black, especially with, like, if they take that pawn too, then they will have two protected passed pawns, or just, you know, just be able to push this rook away with the two bishops. This game will be over soon. I think this will be the longest game because we have yet to see a plan for white to improve further. I mean, black managed to trade some pawns, and with white, if you want something, it seems that you might need to trade. Or maybe he can try knight c3 here. Actually, there's no check, nothing. So, trying to attack that pawn. I think this is white's only chance to kind of get something out of this game by putting additional pressure. Oh, sorry, these games finished. h5, check it out. He doesn't even go for the pawn. He could take that one, but why? h5. Play f6 if you dare. Then this bishop will come. Attacking your rook, come towards e6, taking g6, bring in the queen to g6. This is dangerous. Very, very dangerous for black. Not much to do. Really, really unpleasant. Yeah, the lonely king side, indeed. And black just put another rook on the queen side. He's got nothing on the king, but this does not look good. Okay, bishop there. What's the plan? I don't know. White is attempting something. Some attack, maybe? Bishop d5. But I mean, black can always play c5 for knight c5 and it will be fine. Also, a4 pawn is hanging. Maybe knight c5 here? You know? Just... Oh! Happened. It happened. That's a nice location for the knight. It's on an outpost. You can't chase it away. Puts pressure. So this looks quite good, actually. This looks pretty good. Okay. Okay. This is game over shortly. This is game over. You don't really have a way for white to really stop this pawn. Domination of the two bishops. I wonder how much longer white is gonna play here to try to hold on, but I think those two bishops are just impossible to stop. So this remains our most important game, basically, of the day, because Theodore is definitely giving it a hard time to Zhu Zhanchao, the only grandmaster in the event, gave up that, you know, pawn, but there was a trap to it. We thought it was definitely much better for white, but it wasn't easy to really show off the advantage. And after all these maneuvers, black still seems to be holding. Seems to be holding quite well. Black's play has been impressive. Yeah, he had a tough start, actually. The first game, he was close to losing, and he got lucky that his opponent just blundered in one move, blundered the bishop in one move in an endgame that should have been a draw. And, well, he was actually lost at first, but then it was supposed to be a draw, in my opinion, and then after that, he's played really good games. The first game this morning and this one, definitely really, really nice games. Oh, now this is something interesting. So white played h6. So he wants to take in e5 and try to mate, and then black played here. Now the light squares have been weakened, right? So do we expect bishop h3? Yeah, I can see. You agree. You agree with me, bishop h3, that's what I would play too, but okay, so let's go here. So bishop h3, rook c6, and then probably rook d1 to try to go rook d8, I guess. And if black goes here, you could probably still go there. And if you move the queen wherever you move the queen, well, actually, this is what will happen if you move the queen. If you move the queen there, I think you're gonna lose fast. Very, very fast. And rook here does nothing because we just take it. Okay, so you cannot go queen there. You need to come up with a different resource like queen here. But you know what? This is the easiest that I see. Oh, when someone infiltrates, and I'm not even gonna take your pawn. No, I'm gonna go rook d8 and I'm gonna mate you. I'm not even taking the pawn. Who cares about that pawn? No, I don't. I just care about checkmating you. Oh, what? He did play bishop h3, rook c6, and rook d1. Okay. Alright, so far my lines has been met. I'm pleased with myself. I'm very pleased. Let's check the ratings. So, we have Brejesh Chakrabarti, who is 1.5. He's 23.44, playing against Nick Moore 22.87. These are USCF ratings, by the way. Okay, so he not king f7, rook d6 directly was played by black. That makes sense. Yeah, black down under a minute. That's tough. That's definitely tough. Okay, so how do we do this? I missed that defense. That's a pretty good defense. Because now if you take... Okay. So should we checky? Should we give a checky? Should we... What should we do in this position? What should we do? Because if we go queen here, he might just go bishop b7. But then we can take... We can at least win material. Yeah. Bishop e6 check. You cannot take because of check queen. So black play king of fate. And you can still not take as check queen. So I wonder if he's gonna play now queen f3. Oh, rook takes e5 works. Don't you lose this rook? I think you lose the rook, chess lover. With check, then I take a rook. So that doesn't work. But I want queen f3 first. We also keep this protected, and now we want to take and take. So if he goes there, I mean, I think in the worst case, you can just take this pawn. But maybe we can find something even better. So I have a question. Can we go for the sacrifice? Because you know me. You know me and my wishes. My sacrificing wishes. I guess this does not lead to anything. Check. He goes here. I just sacked a piece. Sorry, I sacked a rook. If I give check... Yeah, this is probably not enough. Takes. Takes. Yeah, I think I got nothing. I got nothing there. It's a bit too... Not quite. Not quite. But looks like he didn't go for that. He went for this, so he just wants to win the pawn. Okay. Was there something here? Maybe not. Maybe we do that. Oopsie, not that, sorry. Take the pawn. This seems fine, right? This seems pretty good. Okay, but queen d3 was played, bishop b7, so now he kind of has to take. Black can force the entrance in the endgame, but this should be winning for white. I don't know. I wouldn't have traded all this. I wouldn't have traded all of this stuff. Because this is hanging now. I don't know. He may have messed up. Oh, wait, but I can take him b3 now. Take him b3. Wait. You're pinned. This is the move. Don't trade rooks. You don't trade rooks and queens. You are on the verge of winning this position. No trades. Zero whatsoever. No trades. We take him b3. Come on. That's the move that you have to find, Nick. Okay, so we got a result. So Vincent Stone has won his game against Troy Dali. After this, looks like... Oh, there were a few more moves that were being played. And resignation because it's mate in 2. Check and mate. Okay, so nice win by Black. Very... it was a pretty... smooth game. Black had a tiny bit of an advantage after he got that pawn there, and he found this beautiful attacking idea with knight h7, queen h4, knight g5, and he simply gave up material in a very nice fashion, and now Black is coming for the attack. I really enjoyed this game. Well thought attack. Maybe there was some calculation issues at some point, but it wasn't much. It wasn't giving up the advantage. So way to go, Vincent. Well done. All right, so we're done with 3 games now. 3 games remaining. This was we knew that this was pretty good for Black. It seems like he just won another pawn, so he's got 2 extra pawns. And no, this move does not work because checky in between move, or Zwischenzug. For those of you who don't know that, that's the term. When you want to do something first, it doesn't work. And then, you make another move in between the one you want to make. So you just make something before that, and then you can go for your plan. And he did capture in b3. Okay, queen c7. Now his rook is hanging, so he probably should take, because now that... This could be a threat, so he probably has to take, and now he has to come up with some way to improve. Now that the bishop is in b7, I wonder if queen f3 would work. Oh, I guess this is the move. But, I just want to see if this works now. Yeah, now the rook is not hanging, unless I move the bishop somewhere and I'm threatening mate, but I'm not sure. But I don't think it's necessary to sacrifice. We got an extra pawn, so pretty much anything works. You want bishop d5? I was thinking queen f3, just still defend the pawn. And but yeah, bishop d5 could work, because if you trade, rook takes, right? And then that could be an idea. Sure. Okay, we'll be back to this game, so nothing new on this one. Oh, lots of changes in this one. How did this happen? White got his rook activated after all. Oh, wow. Black did not want to trade. Oh, I guess if you trade, the knight takes and you don't have a way to protect that pawn, maybe. Maybe that's why he moved his rook. And now... he has trapped Black's rook. He has trapped it! But he can't, or he can't win it, because even if he does all this, there's gonna be a check, so you can't actually win it, but you have it trapped. How does that help you? That remains to be seen. Definitely the king needs to go out from that back rank, so maybe king f2 is white's threat now. What about bishop here? The point is, if you do this, I want to take and take. You can take here. And that's hanging. Okay. This is quite fun for white. This is definitely pretty fun. Okay. Rook a6, huh? Should we go for this idea with b4, or is that giving black some counterplay? What I'm trying to do is get somehow the rook and the queen opened on the file. Makes sense? I also saw this kind of idea, but I think it might be a bit slow, but we could do that too. No, this game is unfortunately hopeless for white. Black is still thinking, but he has no time. Maybe he should protect f... Oh, he did not. So that's a bit sharp. He wants this, and then if you protect, right, because we're threatening to take, oops. If you protect the knight, then he wants to take it anyways. You have to take with the knight, or else this is hanging. And then we get this position where black is hoping to hold. I believe that's the plan for black. Trying to find a way to hold into this position. Hi there, AFM. Oh, he did it. b4. b4. Nice one. All right. That's good. That is very, very good. C5 is coming. The winter is coming. And it's not gonna be fun. It's not a good kind of winter with nice snow and everything. It's one of those cold winters with... I don't know why I said that. Just to kind of emphasize that this is very unpleasant. This is very, very unpleasant. I'm not playing right now. I'm doing commentary, AFM. Okay, so this is not very good. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. It's very gone. I was looking for some ways for black to mate here, but white has this move. White has this move, so we might see some captures g6, I thought, and then this, but you know. Oh no, no capture, g4. Okay, so what's the plan? What's the plan with g4? After takes, he wants to take with the knight and then grab everything. Yeah. Looks like it is a move. It is a move and it was played and it's unpleasant. It is very unpleasant. Taking advantage of the king in the center? Oh man. Oh man. Okay. g4. How serious was this g4 move? King f2. So yeah, so this definitely not. Like I showed you guys already, right? I showed you that that's definitely a no-no. Because now you're pinned and want to take and take. But I like king f2 because now if you take, you don't get the bishop to attack the knight. And basically, white just needs to get b4 in and move his annoying knight from here. And then figure out things further. Like king f2. Yeah. Rook b6, rook b1. If I were white, I would probably play a move like king h2 just to not to stay on a check or something at some point. Okay, now he's gonna move the bishop. Probably here or bishop g8 to try to get that pawn. That looks... I mean, I guess if you go bishop g8, black can just go back and then you have to kind of move it back. Probably you'll still put it here. So probably it doesn't matter. Might as well just put it there. Now, if he takes, what do you guys think would be white's response? With what would white capture back? Which piece would you guys capture with back? I believe it is the queen. Because when you capture back with the queen, then you're infiltrating there and you will have the opportunity to go c5 at some point and create your pass pawn. The queen is very well placed there. It's protected. I don't think white wants to take with anything else. Bishop d5 played on the board. Bishop d5 played. E d5 is tempting. Yeah, if you want to consider some sacrifices there, but I just don't think those would happen. Oh, black did not want to take. Okay. Black did not want to take. He's trying to hold on somehow. Hold on. Hold on. b5, rook a1. Okay. It's happening. It's happening. b5. Let's go. Defend your pawn. I mean, you're letting some dark squares weak, but you need that pawn protected and you need to activate your rook. I think that's very important for white. Because I don't see a way to activate the queen. Only if you go some f4. But still, even if you go f4, you might take there, they take back like that. So you don't get your queen active. But if you go b5, oh yes. Rook a1, bring the rook to a8. That's gonna be nice. And then queen a3, and then rook a7. Thank you very much. I got so much space. You know, this is not really exactly the same thing, but if you guys ever saw my favorite game of all time, which is Capablanca Treball, then you know what I'm talking about. A-file, it's dream come true. Just activate your rook and then, yeah. Domination indeed, yes. All right, wait, what happened here? Wait, I thought black was so crushing. What? Wait, what? Why would he do that? Why doesn't he just move the rook back? Was he worried about this? Okay, he just moves the rook and takes the pawn, man. Man, I was just saying you're winning. What did you do? What did you do to your game? Also, I think black can take here first, because... Oh, that's not mate. But he can, because that rook is... Oh my goodness. I think it's huge. Yeah, oh yeah, he doesn't have time, actually. But okay, but you don't have time, you don't sacrifice pieces, because you don't have time to calculate. Hold on to your pieces. You know? Hold on. Hold on, mister. Oh no, he lost that pawn, and he's losing f3 too later. I don't know, the black will still win this position. Because, like, now... Okay, I can't take as a check, but if I protect this pawn, like c4, for example, then I can take it. And there ain't a move that's gonna stop me from doing that. No. Not happy. Oh, black could have just... Oh, this is not looking good for black. Maybe he can still win somehow. Get his rook active. Oh, I saw an idea. Bring the rook to b4 and win that pawn. Okay, he can do that. He can come here, 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 and then win that pawn. Okay, if he wins that pawn, I think he's winning. Okay, so maybe he's still winning, but he has to find that idea. Otherwise, I don't know. Oh. Oh, that idea, sure, I guess, but I guess I could just sit here. Right? And then we still, in my opinion, we should go for this line if it works. Although maybe white can switch over, so you don't actually get there. Gosh. That's why I suggest a rook d1. But I'm still a move down, right? Because after this, he can just move the rook. And when I go there, he switches over, and I don't have time. Oh, man. Oh, man. Black may have given up the chance to win his game. He needs to activate his king, but his own pawn is blocking him. This might just switch around to a draw. We'll see. Oh, he went for c5? He did not want to go for my b5 idea and try to activate the rook on the a file. He chose instead... Okay, c5. That makes sense. Take. Oh, this is check rook. Okay. This is game over. Alright. Nice, nice win by Nick Moore. Congratulations, Nick. That was definitely a nice one. Wow. Impressive. Alright, so 2 games left, technically. Oh! How did this happen? Okay. Okay. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. You know why? Oh no, because we can take the bishop. I was gonna say this is gonna be fun because it's 2 knights. And if black manages to somehow do something, but now, can't they just take? I mean, this is winning, right? Take, 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 and this... Oh, wait, I can just take, 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 draw. Win, sorry. Win for white. Bishop e6, not too wise, but black has hold on and plays so good this entire game. Really, really nice game. I definitely like that idea, and yeah. I mean, this is my line, but I don't know if you will go for it. Maybe there are some other ways for white to win. It just seems that that's the easiest, because you just trade everything, and this won't do anything because we just take back, and the knight controls the entrance of black's king. So this game is over. The result just needs to show up. And then this. Oh my god. How did this happen? No! Oh no! Wow! What a game, guys! Black was doing so well, and time trouble. See, that's why it's important to try to manage your time in such a way that you leave sufficient time so that you can calculate. And this endgame now is a loss. G6, big mistake. I think. Oh, wait. H5 maybe doesn't win. Wait, maybe I got panicked. Maybe I panicked. No, but wait, I can just move my king. No. This doesn't win because I think he makes it in time, right? Takes. I need to put it because I'm too tired right now. Maybe we take. This should be a draw, yeah. Where's same rank? Same rank, promotion in the same time. Okay. But wait. King f3. Oh! King f3 and g4 h5. Oh. Oh, just king f5? Oh, okay. No, but king f3 is winning. This maybe also. Here. No, I think it's the same amount of. Again, we promote. You promote first. White promotes first. Black promotes. Yeah, this is gonna be a draw too. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, g6. So actually, he doesn't play g6, and if he plays here or h5. Okay, here. This would be a draw most likely. Oh, this gotta be a tough loss for Black. Oh, man. This is a tough one. This is definitely a tough one. Oh, he didn't take in g4? Okay. I don't know what he saw, but okay, this is winning as well. So back to this position, guys. You gotta calculate your endgames. It is very important to calculate your endgames. Black to move. Let's do it this way. Black to move and make a draw. What do you play? G6 or king a5? Which move do you play here? Actually, I'm gonna use this as a calculation exercise, I think, for my students, because this is a pretty good position to use. G6 or king a5? The correct move, king a5, because you get that pawn, you go to the side, push. During that time, he comes, gets yours, push, and you arrive in the same time, and it's gonna be a draw. And g6 is what Black ended up playing here, and very good move, king f3, followed by this idea, and the king is close enough to actually stop this pawn. And Black didn't even go king a5. I think he realized that the pass pawn was going to be created, and he could at least try this, you know, because he gets in the box, but I mean, he probably realized that this is going to happen. So he ended up just going g5, and after h5, it is game over. Oh, that was a tough one. Well, what to do? This is also a very nice example. G6. Why is G6 a blunder? Way to move and win. Can you find it? Nice idea, right? King f3 or king h3, g4, h5. And if you're trying to bring the king there, White comes through here and takes your pawns and gives up the h pawn. That's the further away pawn, and you lose everything. And if you come through this other side, you are too late. White promotes first and then will eventually take your pawn. This was definitely a very useful example, very educational, I would say, and tough one for Black because he missed it. And looks like this game will be over soon as well. White just blockaded that pawn, so you don't have any opportunity to go d4. And now all we have to do is push the king back, and we'll just get to take that pawn. There's no chances for black to actually win white's e-pawn. And this this will be over. What a day, guys! Unexpected results, some attacking chess. I don't even know. I don't know if the standings were updated just yet. Probably not, because they'll be updated tomorrow with the pairings, when the pairings are up. But wow, it was certainly an exciting day. This game's still gonna be played a few more moves, but looks like Zhu Zhanchao is gonna be the only person, sole leader, with 3 out of 3. And then there will be a few players with 2.5, and then others with 2. Some upsets today, but well, such is life, I guess. Theodore is still playing a couple more moves just to make sure that, you know, things will work in his favor, I guess. But yeah, you can try one more move, but after you lose that pawn, this is protected and just marches. And if you play here, obviously we can take that with either piece, will be good enough, and it's game over. I certainly, oh, there it is, game over, 1-0. Wow. I hope you guys enjoy these streams. I'm planning to do more commentary because this is something I want to improve on more. I might play you guys at some point too. I used to do that for quite some time in past years, but I don't know. I don't know when those streams will happen. For now, it's commentary. I hope you will join me tomorrow as well for the final 2 rounds of this year's Space Coast Open Chess Festival. It's going to start round 4 is going to start at 9:30 a.m. So I'll be online around that time, 9:30, 9:45, since we do have 10-15 minute delay. And then the second round is going to start at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. So these are Eastern time. Another, you know, 3 to 4 hours in the morning, 3 to 4 hours in the afternoon of commentary. It'd be wonderful to have you here. I appreciate all your, you know, input, chatting with me, letting me know your thoughts about the positions. And hopefully there's some learning happening. I appreciate your support for the stream. And if you haven't done so yet, please do follow. It will help with the numbers and everything. And I've been streaming for so many years. I want to do this a bit more now. So I think increasing the numbers would help, but you don't have to if you didn't like it. No worries. Also thankful for all of you who came with the raids from Grandmaster Ben Feingold and his wife Karen, and from Lefong. Thanks for sticking around for this long. I'm gonna send you on a raid now to, I'm thinking, to Kanti. I hope you guys like him. I hope you will enjoy his stream. I know he plays the viewers quite a bit, so hopefully you guys get some play, and have a wonderful rest of your night. Enjoy your weekend. If you are Christian Orthodox and you're celebrating Easter tomorrow, have a great Easter, and if not, just a great Sunday, and hope to see you in the morning.